So the Cliffs of Moher, I would say they are not a great spectacular adventure to have. It's a little bit too developed. It doesn't cost, they don't charge admission to visit the cliffs, but it's €10 per person to park your car. And so if you got 4 people in the car, that's going to be €40. If you're in the area, you sort of have to do it. You don't want a friend or somebody to admonish you and say, what do you mean you went to Ireland and you didn't see the famous Cliffs of Moher? So that's something that you'll have to deal with. Now, another option certainly is to you can go to Doolin, which is, it's not that far from the cliffs. It's a 50-minute boat ride, and they will take you along the cliffs to the cliffs. So you're basically following the coastal edge. I would say that it was a little bit too claustrophobic, too Disneyland-like. You sit in your chair, you got a bunch of people all around you, too many people. You're too far away from the cliffs to really sort of get this beautiful impact of what they mean and how it feels. Depending on the weather conditions, it could be completely fogged out, or it could be very rough weather conditions or a rough sea. So if you were to go to Doolin, this is probably the road that you would go to. So this is the Donegal Castle, 16th century castle, on the way to Doolin. Doolin is also the ferry where they take you to the Aron Islands. So it's kind of a side gig. They operate the ferries to the Cliffs of Moher. Again, I didn't think it was all that spectacular. It was too many people, too much waiting around, and it wasn't particularly special, I would say. However, what I would recommend is you can park your car in Doolin or along this road and take the trail which follows the edge of the cliffs all the way to the Cliffs of Moher. It's about a 50-minute walk one way. That way you can visit the cliffs for free. You don't have any parking to contend with because the parking lot is pretty busy. Here in Doolin, you could park for free and not have to deal with the parking whatsoever. So there you're looking towards the cliffs. So that's the direction of the cliffs. This video doesn't give you where the map is, so because we didn't hike it. I sort of found out about that found that when I was actually making the video, but it does follow, I think, the road and sort of branches off. So that would probably be a far better adventure for you, and you cut out the whole issue with the cliffs. So when we were visiting the cliffs, so we did go and we did park at the cliffs. I did lose most of my video. I probably copied over top of it. It happens. At any rate, we were sitting on the cliffs. The wind conditions were really high, so it was a little bit precarious flying a drone. So next to me, a young gentleman shows up and he brings out his drone, and he happens to be a helicopter pilot. Because shortly after I started flying my drone, I took it down because I saw a real helicopter from the Sea and Rescue. And apparently, from what the helicopter mechanic said, because he actually worked on the helicopter for the Coast Guard, he said that the Cliffs of Moher are the #1 location for people to commit suicide. So he said that this is a small Coast Guard. They don't have the money to be doing training exercises in the wind in these conditions. He said somebody jumped. So that's something to think about. So when I took the drone out, it was really precarious. The wind was pretty high. I kept losing connectivity with my station and the drone, and so I didn't end up with a whole lot of video. So this is about it. I was hoping to get a little bit closer to the cliffs and a little bit more extensive, but that's how it goes. Most of my handheld video I lost or copied over top of it. So things happen. You run out of disk space, and you try to conserve space on disk, and then you end up copying over it, and you didn't copy it onto another hard drive. So that's the way that is. So this would be the direction from the entrance. So there you can see the wind kind of beating that drone around. All right, thanks for coming with me on this beautiful sunset, not quite yet, but it's getting there. All right, enjoy it. Bye now.